Hey, Eagle fans, I'm Thomas Mott. Welcome into Foot of Eagles Now. We have our final preseason game coming up tomorrow. Give me your score prediction for Eagles versus the Jets. Will the starters play? Will they not? Still kind of up in the air. Be a pinned comment down below. Give me your score prediction for Eagles-Jets in the comment section. All right, let's go and jump to the latest Foot of Eagles news and rumors. Been gone the past couple of days. We're back and we're ready to rock here as we get closer to the start of the NFL season. We begin with the breaking news out of ESPN, and that is that Dallas Goedert is due for a contract extension. They haven't given him one yet, but it feels like this is coming very, very soon. Jeremy Fowler had this one in terms of talking about 10 players in line for an extension, and Dallas Goedert was right there at the top, citing that the Eagles will make a push to go ahead and get this extension done in the coming weeks, as of course he's set to only make $1.79 million in the final year of his rookie deal. We forget that, even second, third round draft picks, the final years of those rookie deals, Dallas Goedert's not making a lot of money right now, even though he's considered at least a top 10 tight end in the National Football League. He could be better than that if he could just stay healthy. I think if he can stay healthy in 2021, you're looking at possibly one of the top 5 tight ends in the National Football League. I know we're focused on Zach Ertz and that whole situation, but the Eagles' future at the position lies right now with, of course, Dallas Goedert, and he deserves an extension. It'll be a big extension, but not a Kelsey Kittle groundbreaking, in my opinion. It'll be a little bit less than that. Here was ESPN's Jeremy Fowler on the Goedert extension. Quote, surpassing San Francisco tight end George Kittle's per year average $15 million will be tough, but the days of tight ends taking steep discounts are over. They're too valuable. Goedert will definitely strengthen the market. Philadelphia will make a push in the coming weeks, end quote. So you heard it right there. They're not going to get close to the $15 million, but just under is kind of right where we're thinking for a Dallas Goedert extension. How much would you guys pay Dallas Goedert a year? Like, you would pay Goedert blank $1 million a year. I would go around $12 to $13 million a year because I think he's a great tight end, but we understand that Kittle and Kelsey are better. We all can agree on that, even if you don't like me here on the Eagles channel, whatever it is. Make sure you guys give me your pick, though, on how much you would pay Dallas Goedert. I'm going to go $12 to $13 million a year. And just to go ahead and kind of compound this, take a look at the highest paid tight ends, right? Kittle's sitting there at 15, Kelsey's at 14.31. Then you go big drop, Hunter Henry, Jonnu Smith, they're about 12.5, and then Austin Hooper, who makes a lot more than he should, because Austin Hooper is like, not that great. He's like a number 2 tight end with the Browns. They got David Njoku there as well. But you see where you could kind of fit him in terms of talking about how much money you would go ahead and pay a guy like Dallas Goedert. Now, in terms of some other stuff here, if you're wondering where Zach Ertz fits into all of this, where he currently is in terms of money right now, Zach Ertz is making $8.5 million a year in the final year of his contract. You see why he's had some issues with the Eagles in terms of wanting a brand new deal, because you can see he's way less behind even a guy like Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry. Kyle Pitts, the rookie tight end out of Atlanta, makes $8.23 million. So you can kind of see where this is all going, right? Ertz wants an extension. They're going to focus in and give it to Goedert because Goedert's the future, but this kind of compounds the whole issue that we've seen so far with Dallas Goedert with Zach Ertz over the past couple of seasons. I still think Ertz is going to be an Eagle this year, barring, a change that comes tomorrow or the next day or next week or next month. I just don't see it happening that he's going to go ahead and be let go. And I still think that's great for Philadelphia because I consider Zach Ertz to still be an elite tight end in the National Football League. But the focus today is in on Dallas Goedert. He deserves an extension. He's the future of the tight end position. I think the future is really going to be him and Tyree Jackson alongside each other. Not this season because Jackson, of course, is injured and they still have Zach Ertz. But next season, I could see it being an Ertz and Tyree Jackson 1-2 punch there in Philadelphia. I'll ask you guys this, and then we'll move on here to some other storylines on our Eagles video today. Who's the better tight end right now? Is Zach Ertz or Dallas Goedert? Because I think people might debate this right now. Type E if you think it'll be Zach Ertz. Type G if you think it will go ahead and be Dallas Goedert. I still think Ertz is a little bit better, but long-term, obviously, you want to give Goedert the extension, right? I think we all can agree on that. But give me your thoughts down below in the comment section. Okay, I want to move over here to the Jimmy Kempski tweet, one of the reporters covering Philadelphia, and he was basically asking a lot of Philadelphia Eagle players, who's going to be the breakout player on your team? And Fletcher Cox, I think, had the best answer. Throw the tweet up on the screen. Quote, Fletcher Cox asked who's primed for a big season, names Quez, Watkins, and Josh Sweat. Now, I don't want to toot my own horn here, but we talked about these guys in my breakout player videos like a month ago. I mentioned maybe not Quez Watkins, but I did mention Josh Sweat because Watkins just came out of absolutely nowhere. Sweat has been not only a great story, very highly recruited out of high school. I think he was a 5-star recruit, had the knee issues at FSU, was a late round draft pick, 4th or 5th round, whatever it was for Philadelphia. Was able to stay healthy. That's been a key factor. And now it's prime for a massive year. Entering a contract season, I think Josh Sweat's going to have an absolutely bonkers year. And everything keeps pointing to that. I mean, it's not just Fletcher Cox saying that. There's some other Eagles, including Brandon Graham, who have mentioned that Josh Sweat has had an absolutely incredible year so far here at training camp. I'm expecting big things. I think he's going to start at the defensive end position. They'll work in Derek Barnett and then, of course, work in as well whenever he's healthy with the thumb injury, Ryan Kerrigan. Now, other breakout players, based on what I've seen from camp so far, we mentioned Quez Watkins, and they're 100% right on that. Sweat is in there as well. I'll throw in Alex Singleton and Jordan Mailata to be two other breakout candidates if you wanted to know who I'm thinking about right now, because Singleton has had a really good camp, and Mailata, you guys know the drill. Mailata's going to be really good at left tackle. I'm pumped to see what he is going to go ahead and be able to do. But alongside Cox's pick of Watkins and Sweat, I like these two as well. I mentioned I did do a camp standout video a couple of days ago, or it was like a couple weeks ago, and I mentioned both of these guys, and so we're on top of it here, right? I'm not just Googling stuff and then pulling it out of my butt. We're actually reading stuff. We're watching practices. I'm keeping us up to date on what's happening. So if Fletcher Cox sees it, I see it as well. We nailed that one. If you missed that video, check it out here on our channel. Which leads us into, of course, you should be subscribed to the channel because I nail it. Like, I don't want to toot my own horn here. I'm bloviating a little bit, but we try and nail it here on the channel. If you guys love the Eagles, you love being up to date and everything happening with us in Philadelphia Eagles now, make sure you guys go ahead and go down below and subscribe. We would greatly appreciate it because even though I was off for a couple days, we're back and we are full speed ahead into the start of week 1 of the NFL season, which is like 2 Sundays away, which is crazy to think about. I'll be at that game. Plenty of great coverage coming up next couple of weeks. Make sure you guys are subscribed. Okay, we mentioned Josh Sweat and the breakout camp that he's had so far. Elliot Short-Parks, a reporter for 94.1 WIP, mentioned a Jets trade regarding one of Sweat's lead competitions at defensive end in terms of possibly getting rid of Derek Barnett in a contract year to the Jets, because the Jets have been joint practicing with the Eagles over the past couple of days, and so maybe some cross-team scouting has been going on. I'll throw that quote up on the screen right now from Short-Parks. Quote, increasing the chances the deal happens between the two teams is that Joe Douglas, who worked for the Eagles from 2016 to 2019, is still the Jets' general manager. Douglas is very familiar with the Eagles roster, and his relationship with Howie Roseman could increase the chance of a deal gets done, adding the fact that Jets are looking for pass rushers, since the Eagles are deep at, and there could be a deal be made this week between the two teams, end quote. Again, this is thinking, okay, we just got to watch the Eagles play the Jets in practice the past couple of days. They'll play tomorrow night, Friday night, in the final preseason game. So if the Jets wanted to make a trade, they could trade for a guy like Derek Barnett because they've seen him up close and personal. Like if you were the Seahawks, you want a pass rush, you haven't seen Derek Barnett up close and personal this training camp. The Jets have, and so Barnett was mentioned in that trade rumor there by Elliot Short-Parks. I like that idea there. But he also comes back to the fact that the Eagles could trade for a Jets player, and so I love this. I mean, will it happen? Maybe not, but I love this. Listen, taking a flyer on Mims, Denzel Mims out of Baylor, it makes sense for the Eagles. Although he caught only 23 passes last season, he did average 15.5 yards per catch, an impressive number considering that he had Sam Darnold throwing to him and Adam Gase is his head coach. The Eagles starting receivers seem to be set. Devontae Smith, Jalen Reagor, and Quez Watkins, but not much is decided after that, end quote. Do the Eagles need to trade for Denzel Mims? Can you do a swap for Derek Barnett and Denzel Mims? Maybe. I don't think they have to, but he's right in terms of the fact that it's Smith, it's Reagor, it's Watkins, and then who's the next best receiver? Fulgham's not had a very good training camp. Arcega-Whiteside might not make the team. Hightower might not make the team. Greg Ward will make the team, but he's been bumped down and delegated to number 4 wide receiver, at least on my depth chart. I don't know where it is currently on the Eagles depth chart, but this is definitely an option if the Jets are big fans of Corey Davis, which presumably that they are. Denzel Mims could be a real option here, and I'll be a little biased here. You guys know I graduated from Baylor. I covered a lot of Denzel Mims plays. I called a lot of them at Baylor. The dude's legit, and in the right offense, and Sirianni seems to be focusing in on the wide receiver position, being a former wide receiver himself. This could be in my opinion, a really, really good pairing in Philadelphia. So keep an eye out. Not guaranteeing this, but just saying that if the Eagles wanted to do one final trade, get rid of Barnett and a contract here, bring in another receiver, they'd look for the Jets to be that option. Ask you guys this. Would you trade Barnett for Mims, like straight up? I don't know if the Jets would because Barnett's in the final year of his deal, but I would do this 100%. I would type Y down below for yes. Let me know what you guys think on this one. I would trade Barnett straight up for Denzel Mims. I type yes. Give me your thoughts down below in the comment section. Before we go ahead and get into my players to watch against the Jets, go ahead and bet on the Jets game with our friends at BetUS. We're ramping back up our betting coverage here on the channel because our friends are giving us, 125% deposit bonus whenever you first sign up by going to chatsports.com/EaglesBet. Use that promo code EAGLES125. And again, you put $100 down, turns into $225 for you to bet on Philadelphia. The starters play. The Jets right now are 4-point favorites. You can bet on Philadelphia, win a little bit of money going into the weekend, or save your money but still sign up and then bet on the Eagles' first actual game against the Falcons coming up. But Eagles-Jets tomorrow is what we're really focusing in on to go ahead and conclude this video. And again, get your betting in on chatsports.com/EaglesBet. But the Eagles versus the Jets coming up tomorrow night. Will the starters play? It's a real question. I mean, are they going to play? I don't know. I've been trying to find that out. We've been trying to listen to Nick Sirianni. I think that they will, but there are a lot of people in the media saying that they absolutely should not. I'm fine with the starters playing. I have no issue with them giving 2 or 3 series in terms of getting Jalen Hurts out there, the offensive line out there, runs with Miles Sanders. That's fine by me. I think that they could go ahead and use a little bit of that, even though they were successful against the Jets, and for everything I read, were beating the Jets in 11-on-11s over the past couple of days. I'm fine with the starters going. We don't know if they will yet. Probably a game time decision tomorrow night at Lincoln Financial Field. Now, If they do play, here are your players to watch right now. We start, of course, with Jalen Hurts. And I think that the argument to play him is because he didn't play last week or whatever it was. Like, he was supposed to go, had the stomach issue, told the trainers. They made it, a safe, no worries call there, and it was the right call to go ahead and sit Jalen Hurts, but we keep an eye on him if he's going to go ahead and play. He's had a great training camp, guys. I mean, the final stats came out, and he has been very efficient. Something like 22 touchdowns and 6 interceptions, in total 11 on 11 so far in training camp. He's been good. Of course, Devontae Smith. I think he'll play either way, even if Hurts doesn't play, just to get a little more of that rust off. Jamar Chase, obviously, a receiver taken before him, dealing with a lot of rust. I would keep Devontae Smith in there just for a series. I mean, again, I'm not asking for a whole quarter. We saw Juju Smith-Schuster play into the second half against the Lions in the was it the Steelers-Lions game a couple of days ago. We don't need that, just, nice and easy. Zach McPherson, he had a really rough game last week, but he's been a pretty darn good player so far in training camp, and regardless if the starter's player or not, McPherson will go ahead and play, so we're going to keep an eye on the rookie cornerback there, as well as the rookie defensive tackle, regardless if the starters play. Again, I'm giving you guys options here. Starters play, we're obviously keeping an eye on Jalen Hurts and Devontae Smith. If they don't, and even if they do, Zach McPherson and Milton Williams are two of the rookies that have had good camps so far. Milton Williams had a pretty good couple of first preseason games. I'm excited to see him play extensively on the D-tackle position in this game. And finally, we got to throw him out there, J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. I think his last chance. I mean, he has to have a good game. If he didn't have a good game, I would be very surprised if he goes ahead and makes this football team. I don't think he will. Honestly, I don't think that he will. He's done nothing so far in these preseason games, but it's his last chance. So if he does do well, then maybe he could go ahead and make the roster. But those are my top 5. Hurts, Smith, McPherson, Williams, and Whiteside, the guys to watch against the Jets tomorrow night, depending on if we get the starters or not. Again, we mentioned it. Pin comment, predict the score. Eagles versus Jets. Give me your score prediction down below right now in the comment section. Let's see what you guys think about that one. I'm going to go with, we'll go Eagles 20, Jets 14. How about that? That's where I'll go, even though I've always been wrong on preseason predictions. But give me your thoughts on that one down below. And of course, as we go ahead and sign off on this video, make sure you guys are subscribed to Philadelphia Eagles Now. Plenty more content coming up next couple of days and weeks that you want to stay tuned for, as we have you covered leading up to and then well beyond the start of the NFL season in just a couple of weeks. Ultimately, for today here on Philadelphia Eagles Now, I'm your host, Thomas Mott, signing off for the rest of your day.